Welcome to episode 1 of Math Lessons for Hardscapers. There is a lot of math involved in the estimation and execution of hardscaping projects, and when I was starting out in the field, I found that there were very few hardscaping-specific resources available that teach these useful skills. I hope to create a straightforward and concise little library of the most essential information for aspiring hardscapers and DIYers to use. Let's dig in. Today we are going to talk about estimating cubic feet and cubic yards for rectangular patio construction. This will be most useful when estimating base materials and bedding materials, but also has many other applications. Our imaginary patio that we're estimating for today is 10 feet by 20 feet in size, so we've got a 200 square foot patio. Length times width gives us that number. Let's assume that we are going to install 6 inches of base material on this patio. To figure out the amount of cubic feet of base we'll need, we can use the formula length times width times depth. Or we could use area times depth, whatever feels more natural to you. To use our depth in the equation, we need to divide the number of inches by 12. So for 6 inches, we get 0.5, half a foot. So let's execute our formula. We will multiply 10 times 20, which is 200, and multiply that by 0.5, which is 100. So we'll need 100 cubic feet of base material. Now, most aggregate is sold by the cubic yard. So to convert our cubic feet to cubic yards, we simply divide the cubic feet by 27. This gives us approximately 3.7 cubic yards. When it comes to this kind of math, there's no shame in using a calculator. A lot of the time, we'll be dealing with quotients that have a lot of decimals. Whenever I say approximately, I'm just saying that I've rounded to a certain decimal. Let's try another example. Maybe our patio substrate requires a bit more base material, so we're going to install 8 inches depth of base. We'll divide our 8 inches by 12, which gives us approximately 0.67. Now, that'll be our depth, 0.67 feet. Now, we'll use our formula, the length, 10, times the width, 20, times our depth, 0.67, and that gives us 134 cubic feet. Now, let's divide that by 27 to get our cubic yards, and now we know we'll need approximately 4.96 cubic yards of base. Well, that's quite close to 5, so we'll say 5 cubic yards of base. Let's try a slightly different exercise. We forgot that we want our base material to extend 6 inches on all sides beyond the patio. Let's figure out our new area. The formula for that would be length plus 1 multiplied by our width plus 1, and then to get our cubic feet, we'll multiply that by our depth. We'll use 8 inches again. So length plus 1 is 11, and width plus 1 is 21. Multiply those together, and we get our new area, which is 231 square feet. Now that multiplied by our depth, 0.67, gives us about 154.77. Now dividing that by 27, we get about 5.73 cubic yards. There's also a little shortcut I'd like to share. I find it quite useful, especially if I'm doing a site visit and I need to come up with numbers pretty quickly. And that's just for every 3 inches of depth over 100 square feet, that comes out to approximately 1 cubic yard. The actual number is 0.93, but I rounded up. So for example, if I'm doing a 200 square foot patio and I need to put 6 inches of material in there, I can just very quickly know that I need about 4 cubic yards of material. That could be confusing and complicated or not make sense, or maybe that's just not how your brain works. It works for me, but feel free to disregard that. That's pretty much everything I wanted to go over today. I hope you learned something. I hope this was useful. Please let me know what you thought in the comments. It's a pretty dry format, but I hope you learned something. The next video is going to be about circles, calculating the area, circumference, and also how to estimate the cubic yards of base or bedding that you'll need. See you next time.